a problem. Every time someone asks me, hey, what RPG should I play? I know exactly what they are going to hear. The Witcher 3, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Persona. And look, those games are incredible, certified masterpieces. But I have played so many RPGs that are just as special, just as memorable, and just as worth your time that nobody talks about. So today, I'm fixing that. I'm grabbing you by the collar gently, respectfully, and showing you 10 underrated RPGs that deserve way more love than they got. Some of these you never heard of, some you scrolled past 100 times. All of them are worth playing right now. Let's get into it. Number 10, Chained Echoes. Chained Echoes was made by one single person. His name is Matthias Linda. He's from Germany and he spent 7 years building a 40-hour JRPG that somehow outclasses games made by teams of hundreds. It's set in a fantasy world recovering from a war, and you follow a group of mercenaries who get wrapped up in something way bigger than their next paycheck. The combat is turn-based but with an overdrive bar that forces you to constantly switch up your moves. You can't just spam your strongest attack, and between fights, you heal completely. No potions, no backtracking to an inn. Every battle is a fresh puzzle, not a war of attrition. You also get giant mech suits called sky armors that you can customize and fight with. The soundtrack is by Eddie Marienthal, not a name you know, but after this game you will. And the story, genuine twists, emotional payoffs, an ending that sits with you, but to a house that got renovated by someone who actually understands modern game design. Number 9, Tyranny. Most RPGs ask you to save the world. Tyranny asks, what if you already lost? The evil overlord Iris has already conquered everything. The war is over. And you are not the hero. You are a fate binder, judge, jury, and executioner for the winning side. Your job is to travel through the conquered lands and enforce Kairos will. But how you do that is entirely up to you. You can't be the terrifying enforce everyone expects. You can be the one person in the empire who still has a concession. You can play every faction against each other and come out on top. The conquest mode, where you define your backstory during the war, is genius. The decisions you make before the game even start reshape entire regions, characters, and quests. And magic system, you build spells from scratch by discovering sigils and combining them. By the end, you are not casting fireball, you are casting a bounching armor, sharding, poison inflicting, terrain altering nightmare. Bronze Age aesthetic, compelling writing, only about 25 hours. Tyranny is Obsidian at their absolute best, and it's been sitting in Steam libraries unplayed for almost a decade. Number 8, CrossCode. CrossCode is the best action RPG your friends never told you about. You play as a Lee, a character logged into a fictional MMO called Crossworlds. She's lost her ability to speak and has no memory of who she is. And as you play, you start to figure out why. The combat is fast, like genuinely fast. Elemental, switching mid-combo, charge, shoots, perfect dodges. It's what happens when a 2D Zelda game and Devil May Cry have a babe. The puzzle are the steel start through. Ricochet shoots, bouncing of walls, time platforms, elemental interaction. By the late game, you will stare at a room of 20 minutes and feel like a genius when it clicks. The pixel art is stunning. The soundtrack slaps. The fake MMO world is full of NPCs who act exactly like real MMO players. One guy is just running in circles in the town square for no reason. It's perfect. CrossCode took 8 years to make and it shows. Every system is polished, every era is finesse, and Leah's story told entirely without her speak is genuinely moving. Number 7, Wildermyth. Wildermyth is the best RPG you never played that will make you feel things you didn't sign up. It's a procedural storytelling RPG with papercraft art. You create heroes, farmers, poets, hunters, and guide them through multi-chapter campaigns. And here's the thing, they grow old, they get hurt, they fall in love with each other, they have rivalries and have children, and eventually they die. Then their children take up their weapons and keep fighting. The writing is generated procedurally based on your character's traits, relationships, and history, but it never feels random. It feels authored. I had a warrior lose her arm to a fire drake and get a magical prosthetic. I had the two rivals who hated each other for 3 chapters until one sacrificed herself to save the other. I had a farmer's son become the greatest hero of the age. It's co-op, you can build a legacy with friends, and the art style makes it look like a living storybook. Wildermyth is unlike anything else in the genre. Number 6. GreedFall. GreedFall is what happens when a studio of about 30 people in France decides to make a BioWare-style RPG anyway. Somehow it works. You're a diplomat from a colonizing nation arriving on a remote island. There is a plague. The natives don't trust you. Your own people are scheming, and you have to navigate all of it through diplomacy, deception, or just straight-up combat. The cool thing, diplomacy is genuinely the best option most of the time. You can talk your way through almost everything. The world is gorgeous. Baroque cities, wild jungles, creatures that look like concept of art from Pan's Labyrinth. The companies are well written. The faction rotation system tracks every decision, and the combat, while not the deep set, lets you switch between magic, swords, and guns on the fly. It's janky, I won't lie. Facial animations are doing their best, but GreedFall has heart in a way that AAA games with 50 times budget somehow miss. GreedFall 2 is in early access, but original is a complete, satisfying experience. Number 5. Outward. Outward does not care about you. You are not the chosen one. You are not special. You are a person who owes money on their house and decides to go on an adventure instead of paying it. That's the plot. When you die in Outward, and you will die, you don't get game over screen. You wake up somewhere. Maybe a traveler dragged you back to town. Maybe bandits captured you and stole your stuff. Maybe you are in a cave with no idea how you got there. The game just keeps going. There is no fast travel. You want to get somewhere, you walk. And the walk is dangerous. Hunger, thirst, disease, weather. The map doesn't show you location unless you're near a landmark. You actually haven't navigated. The magic system is wild. You combine runes in sequence to cast spells, or place sigils on the ground that transform different spells into new effects. And here the secret, once you exit that Outward, isn't trying to make you feel powerful. It becomes one of the most immersive RPG you will ever play. Your journey feels like a real expedition, and it splits a screen co-op, you and friend just trying to survive. And alright, quick pause. If any of these games are catching your eye, smash that like button. It helps more than you think, and I'm genuinely curious, what is your underrated RPG? The one game you keep telling people to play it, they never listen. Put it in the comments. I read all of them, and my backlog is about got even more unmanaged. Number 4. The Banner Saga. The Banner Saga is the most beautiful tactical RPG ever made. It looks like a Disney animated feature from the 1950s. Sweeping hand-drawn landscapes, characters that feels like they stepped out of an art book, animation that belongs in a theater. The art director Arne Jorgensen was directly inspired by Evad Early, the guy who painted Sleeping Beauty's backgrounds. But don't let the pretty pictures fool you. The game is brutal. You lead a caravan of refugees across the dying world inspired by Norse mythology. Resources are scarce. Characters can die incrementally based on your choices. Every stop forces impossible decisions. Do you share food with strangers when your own people are starving? Your choices carry across the entire trilogy. The combat uses an armor and a strength system where your health is your damage output. The weaker you get, the less you hit for, which completely changes how you fight. Do you separate damage across enemies to weaken them all, or focus on one threat at the cost of leaving other at full power? It's grim, it's beautiful, and the ending, well, I won't spoil anything. Number 3, Battle Chasers Nightwar. Battle Chasers is based on a comic from 1998 by Joe Madureira, the artist who created Darksiders. It looks like a Joe Mad comic brought to life. Thick black outlines, ridiculously oversized weapons, chunky armor. It's a pure 90s excess and I love it. The combat is turn-based JRPG with a twist. The overcharge system. Every basic attack generates temporary mana you can spend on abilities. So on any turn you decide, do I attack now for a cheap damage, or do I build overcharge for devastating combo next round? It turns every fight into a rich game of building and spending. The dangers are procedurally generated but feel handcrafted. Each characters play completely differently. Calibretto, the war golem, is a healer who can also punch someone into orbit. Garrison has a directional block system. Red Monica mixes stealth and poison. It's Saturday morning cartoon energy in the best way. The sequel, Ruined Kings, set into League of Legends universe, it's also great, but the original Battle Chasers is the one more people need to discover. Number 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance. I know, some of you screaming Kingdom Come sold millions, and it did, but I still meet RPG fans every week who skipped it because they heard it was that janky medieval simulator and never gave it a real chance. For those people, this entire is for you. You play as Henry, a blacksmith's son in 4003 Bohemia. At the start of the game, you cannot fight. You swing a sword like a toddler with a stick. You cannot read. The words on the page are literally scrambled. You have to find someone to teach you. You have to train with a trainer for hours. Your sword skill, your archery, your alchemy, nothing levels up unless you practice. Nothing level ups unless you practice. And that's what makes Kingdom Come special. When you finally win your first real sword fight, directional combat where you have to aim your strikes, you earn it. No game has ever made me feel more like I actually become better at something. The alchemy system makes you physically follow recipes. Pure the wine, green the herbs, boil it. For 2 turns of the hourglass, word is historically accurate down the building layouts. It's on everything now. It's often on sale of pocket change, and the sequel is coming. Get on board. Number 1 is ELEX. ELEX is my number 1 because no game has ever asked more of me in the first 5 hours and rewarded me more for punching through. It's from Tyranny Bytes, the Gothic and Reason studio, and if you know those games, you know exactly what you are signing up for. If you don't, the first enemy in this game is a rat, and that rat will kill you. Repeated. The world is post-apocalypse fantasy, sci fiction. Comet hit the plane and brought ELEX, a substance that powers both magic and technology. One faction uses swords and spells, another uses plasma rifles and mech suit. The third faction uses mutant abilities, and you can join any of, and you get jetpack. The jetpack changes everything. You can fly onto rooftops, scale lifts, and escape fights you have no business being. The quest design is old school in the best way. NPCs give you actual direction. Head east past Old Tower until you see the river. You have to pay attention. Every discovery feels earned. But the time you go from running from rats to hunting giant trolls in power armor with a laser rifle, progression is the most satisfying thing the genre. ELEX 2 is out. Both are cheap. Both are worth it. Here's the thing. The RPG genre is massive. You don't need to only play the big. Some of the best experiences in gaming are the ones nobody's talking about. These 10 games earned their spot, and I hope at least one of them becomes your next obsession. Like the video, subscribe if you want more like this. Tell me in the comments what underrated RPG I missed, because I definitely missed something. I always do. See you in the next one. I'm gonna go start my 4th Change Echoes playthrough.